favorite time of year. I don't know if you could tell. Yes! I don't know if you could tell by my Wednesday Addams inspired ensemble. But I am a big horror nerd. I love Halloween. I love horror movies. And our next panel is coming from one of my favorite groups in the game, in the horror game. It's coming from Crypt TV. Yes, and today we have some of the cast and filmmakers of The Birch, which is a new series that premiered on Facebook Watch earlier today. So when you're done here doing all your shopping and mingling and happenings, you go home and you go watch that. So please put your hands together for star of The Birch, Dempsey Brick, star of The Birch, Zaria Dotson, executive producer, Kate Krantz, and executive producer and your moderator, Darren Brandel.
Hello. We have an order here? Okay, cool. LA Comic Con. Woo! I saw a bunch of main stage guests up here before, and everyone was singing and dancing, and I thought, oh boy, we're going to be sitting and talking. But it's Halloween time, and this is a television series that is scary. It's got a monster. We're going to show you a great kill scene before this is all over. We like that. So welcome to LA Comic Con. We're here to talk about our show, The Birch, on Facebook Watch. Woo! How many of you are familiar with Crypt TV? Yeah, some diehards out there. Cool. If you're familiar with Crypt, then you're familiar with The Birch, which was one of our first, thank you, which was one of our first breakout viral hits on Crypt. And it's a very special show for us. It has 50 million views now. People have tattoos of this monster. If you have a tattoo, come find us. I want to see one in real life. Do you actually have one? No, you're trying to give me a hat? Okay, cool. I'll grab that in a second.
We're not up that, people.
I can only talk. Where was I? Television show The Birch. We develop shows on YouTube, on Facebook, and this is very special for us because we took our time with this one. We took over 2 years developing out the storyline and trying to create something awesome. We found a partnership with Facebook Watch, which is Facebook's television streaming platform, to make an epic show, and it came out today, just a couple of hours ago, on Facebook. So after this, you can actually watch it, and I encourage all of you to go follow the show at The Birch Show on Facebook. Thank you. Hashtag follow The Birch. And we're gonna get started here. So I'm here with Kate Krantz, who is my counterpart at Crypt. She's our Chief Content Officer and also Executive Producer on the show. I'm here with Dempsey Brick. He plays Thurston Polk from the series. You're going to see in a second. And Zaria Dotson at the very end plays Evie Grayson on the series as well. The Birch is a story about 3 teenagers whose lives intertwine when one of them summons this beautiful 11-foot tree monster in the woods, and all hell kind of breaks loose. You'll see in a second, but I want to actually show you the trailer right now, and after that we're going to jump into a short panel and discussion. We're here all weekend. You can meet us about the booth, and we're here to talk about the show. So let's play the trailer. I have a list here, so we're going to start with the easiest one to kick off the conversation. I'm going to send it to Kate, and just give a beat to talk about the origin of the series, what sort of inspired it, and how we develop at Crypt in general.
Yeah, so all of you who just cheered for Crypt TV, if you've ever seen The Birch before and you commented, you helped create this show in a very literal sense. We read every single comment, we went through and we tried to figure out what was important to you and modeled our characters after what we thought were important to the viewers who participated in building this community. So thank you guys so much. This is your baby and your show. But we wanted to find a way to make this about empowering individuals and young people in particular. And the scares are huge and the monster is rad. And we're so excited to have you guys go on this journey with us for the next, what is it, month and a half as we
got 15
release
episodes.
the show.
It's going to go all fall.
Yeah.
Great. So let's move over to the cast, because some of you, has anybody out there actually seen any of the episodes yet? You have, yeah, great, all right, cool. Die Hard.
Screeners.
Oh, you got a screener.
Nice.
Did you write a great review?
Not yet, because I was affected by that PG&E shutdown thing in the Bay Area.
Oh, well, we need a great review. I got a t-shirt. We can barter. We can talk later, okay? Great. So the show stars Dempsey and Zaria. Basically, Zaria, let's kick it off with you. Your character in the series, Evie Grayson, when we meet her, she's a very broken individual. She's a teenager in high school. Her mother had just died recently and actually overdosed. She's got a dad at home who she loves, who loves her, but isn't really there. They don't really have that connection where they can really talk to each other. Her friends at school have outgrown her and kind of found their own tribes and their own cliques, and she's been stranded in this world. She gets beat up and pushed down, and she's in a really bad place. What happens is in the series, in the pilot, not to spoil it, first 30 seconds, she witnesses something terrible happen. And this event sort of leads to other things. But I want to ask you how you kind of got into that frame of mind to play this character.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, with Evie, I connected with her character immediately. I was able to relate to her. Oh, sorry. I was able to relate to her, and it just really connected with me, like, when I was a teenager. And, you know, I think everybody goes through that period of change and loneliness when they're that age. And I just kind of reached down deep and connected with those bits of my past, you know. And it was hard sometimes, but, you know, I really felt close to her, you know. And I think being able to play this role, you know, I was really able to experience a lot of release with her because I was able to relate to her so much, you know.
Has there ever been a moment when you wished you could summon a gigantic tree monster to take care of your problem?
God, yeah. I mean, come on, everyone's been a teenager at least once. Everyone wants to do that, right?
So you relate.
Oh, yeah.
Dempsey, let's talk a little bit about your character from the show, Thurston Pohl, who we also meet just shortly after we meet Zaria's character, Evie. And Thurston is in a similar situation, but it's very different in that he's also stuck in a family where he can't get out. And he basically has this uncle he lives with who's the drug kingpin of this town, who's sort of got him wrapped around his finger, and so you have to work with him to try to earn your way out of this mess, essentially. But you end up in a situation where you have this monster who's coming after you. So your life is being threatened here. Your life is being threatened by your uncle. You know, it's a very high pressure situation. So how do you get into a character like that?
I'm trying to PGify my answer. I think it's a lot of I think it's a lot of emotional imagination that you have to do. So, like, a lot of it is just like kind of asking yourself the right questions, like what would you do if everything was, you know, taken away from you, or like what would you do if you had to provide for your younger brother. I mean, I tried to like lose weight for the role, which my grandma hated.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't
she
know that.
texted my mom the other day, and she's like, "Dempsey looks very thin. It's very disconcerting to see. Can we feed him, please?"
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but so I was just kind of experimenting and being like, you know, what kind of like what would that feel like? It was like really imaginative.
Great. I mean, it's your performance on the show is amazing, and you both are very captivating. So I don't know how you get there, but you got there. Let's talk a little bit about the first time you actually met the Birch in real life, because it's actually played by a monster performer on set.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah. Did we get any selfies of you guys when we were up there shooting?
No, I didn't. I totally should have. I didn't take as many pictures as I totally should have, you know? Like, but like the first time I met the Birch, I remember talking about this earlier with them, but like, I'm so glad that the shot is like the back of my head, because I was just grinning ear to ear the whole time. Like, I'm supposed to be like scared and serious or whatever I was in that scene, but I was just like, you know? It was awesome. I love seeing practical effects and just seeing the whole thing right in front of me and having to react to like a real thing in front of you is so great for acting, and just, yeah, I loved it.
Was it your first time in a horror show?
In a horror show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's my first time doing anything in this genre, which is insane because I used to be crazy scared of this kind of stuff when I was little.
Yeah, you're so natural at just being evil. It's amazing.
Oh, you know.
She's very scary. She's very scary to act with. Yeah, it was really
Sorry.
weird because so the actor who played the Birch would be in costume, and it's kind of a scary, like the whole show's kind of scary, so you're like listening to music and trying to freak yourself out, and then you walk into a room and there's like this evil Birch drinking coffee, and you just get scared shitless. Sorry. I mean, that's the way it was though.
One of my favorite moments on set was at lunch because the Birch is it's a crown that sits on top of a performer, but the makeup never comes off the face. But the teeth come out, so you can sip coffee, you can eat.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. You'd just be sitting there and like the Birch is chilling.
Brady
was
was
like
crafty.
like with a mirror in front of him to not mess anything up.
Oh
So
yeah,
he
we had to
was
have
just
a
doing like
PA hold a
yeah.
mirror so the monster could physically eat between shots. That was pretty great. It's also your first time in a horror show.
Yeah, I did one horror film before this, but nothing with practical effects or anything. So, I mean, I wasn't like the first time they were just like, okay, run away, don't get eaten. But it's just like the makeup lady back there being like waving, being like, it's okay, go, Dempsey, like act.
Yeah.
But this time you've got like the Birch and the vines and everything pulling you apart, so it's a lot easier. It makes my job a lot easier anyway.
Yeah.
Having something to react to, you know? It's awesome.
Say that again.
Just having something to react to, you know?
Oh, yeah,
Instead
totally.
of, like, there's a couple things where it's like you had to kind of imagine things in your head, but like most of the time we were interacting with real stuff. You know, we were really getting jerked around and pulled around all over the place and those things. Like, it's crazy.
Great. Kate, you should talk a little bit more about just like the rules of the Birch, how we summon her, and like where that came from, and you know where that might be going.
So a big thing for all Crypt content is making sure that we have a crystal clear summoning rule or mythology or object associated with it. We see these as aspirational, dark creatures. They're not evil. They're monsters with a moral compass, and that's very important to us that we always preserve it. So the Birch comes with a totem that you guys can see in the trailer. It's that stick figure thing that you can make yourselves if you're so inclined, or get it tattooed, whatever. And then you have this certain phrase that you say along with it, and she will summon for you if you are pure of heart. That's kind of from the original short that we wanted to keep inside of this. But we built out a very rich mythology for her that you've never read, never seen before in anything else. So you have to get to those last episodes for a lot of huge twists.
How does this differ from the stuff that we normally make on Crypt?
I mean, I think Crypt is always Crypt. The heartbeat of our brand is always going to feel like Crypt TV, and our fans are the reason that can happen. They keep us in check and they engage with our content in a meaningful way, and we don't exist without them. But this is unique in that we get 15 episodes to tell a singular story, and that is awesome. And we have different perspectives through which we can understand this moral gray area that the Birch exists in.
Yeah, this is the first time we've actually had a real production to make a real serious show, and it's amazing. I think one of the greatest parts of this is like every time we wanted to do a practical effect, we were like, we had the money to do it, so.
Well, and the cool part is when you watch it, like Zaria said, the monster is real and the effects are mostly practical. So all the vine work that you see is us doing it in camera and then reversing it for playback. So it feels like they're actually moving towards our actors, and it's awesome. And we do supplement like here and there very minimally, but that was like days and days of shooting just to get the vine work right and give them personality. So a lot of love and care goes into that like old school horror mentality.
Do you have any great stories from behind the scenes or from the shoot, especially with any effects stuff or anything like that?
It's associated with a couple spoilers, so I can't go too deep, but for one moment, we had to make a decapitated head of someone, and we live cast the actor in the morning, and within 6 hours, our special effects makeup artist had created an identical replica of his head, and it was so disturbing. He wouldn't look at it, he wouldn't touch it, he wouldn't go near it, and it was awesome, and now I really want one of myself.
I think we still have that head.
I need it. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna get that back in the office
Okay.
for sure. I'd love for you guys to. You haven't even seen the show yet. It just came out like an hour ago.
Nope.
Is there anything that you'd like to add from behind the scenes on the show to give our fans out there a little bit more intimate experience from your time on set?
I mean, I don't even know. Like, there were so many great experiences, like, working with everybody. Everybody's so nice. Like, that's just one thing I really need to, like, push is, like, I worked with so many awesome people. Like, right off the bat, I knew that being a part of this project was going to be amazing. Like sometimes the most difficult scenes in this show, you know, they're crazy, it's emotional, but like those were the most fun days. And like, I don't know, like every single day was fun for me, no matter how difficult it was, you know?
Anything to add?
Yeah, about behind the scenes.
Any experience on set?
I think it's just interesting to see like the show pretty much as it is, because very little from what I have seen just through like little clips and trailers and stuff, it's pretty much what you see was what we were seeing. So it's kind of cool to see a show that's like, for, you know, outside of it being like a murderous creature actually roaming around, all that stuff was real. Like the vines, people getting thrown around and stuff, that's real.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have a younger brother, and he's, it was like his first show, and it's very cool. You guys have to keep an eye out for him, because everything he was doing was like heartbreaking. And they're like, please, can you guys not cry? And I'm like, no, are you kidding? He's so good. So I'm actually really excited for you guys to see Tucker. I think that'd be fun.
Sweet. Well, this is just an abbreviated version of the panel, because we're actually going to be doing a longer version after we screen 3 episodes tomorrow here at the convention. That's at 2 o'clock, mark your calendars. We're going to be showing 2 of the episodes that are already out, and then a new episode that no one's ever seen a week before it comes out. So it's the only chance to see it ahead of time. Come to it tomorrow at 2. But it's you know, a horror thriller series, and we have to end this panel here on the main stage on a kill scene, and we're going to do that now. So let's play that. 14 episodes all fall on Facebook Watch. Everyone here has Facebook. Go to @the Show. Follow now. Watch them. 3 episodes are out now. Once again, we have Kate, we have Dempsey, we have Zari from the show. We will be here tomorrow at 2 over in the salon screening some episodes. We're going to have a longer version of this panel. We'll have a Q&A open for for questions from the audience as well. And Crypt TV is here all weekend at booth 111 over in the corner by the wrestling ring. You'll see us. We have big trees. You can take a photo of being sort of crucified by the Birch. It's really cool. And we're giving away these t-shirts. We have 1,000 t-shirts. We're going to run out of these things probably tomorrow afternoon. So go over there now and grab one. These are limited edition. Go grab one, watch the show. Thank you very much. And we're going to end on a trailer, and we're going to walk off. Thank you.